देवियों सज्जनों, आप सबका स्वागत है विश्व कप के इस आखिरी पड़ाव में। ये रहा आपका सवाल कंप्यूटर जी।
कौन जीतेगा कप, कौन जीतेगा कप, महीना बीत गया पता चलेगा अब। India, England, New Zealand, Australia started with 10 and it's down to 4, yeah. Ready to lap up their final mile. Let's run through the journey by turning back the dial. WWL, WW, WWW. W से Warner and Stark is their man. Is this the World Cup where Australia can?
ये क्या है आखिरी चार? हम तो उस दिन ही जीत गए थे जब पाकिस्तान को हरा दिया।
Yeah, I'm sure, Mark. We can. Why not?
अरे भाई ऐसे कैसे कह सकते हैं आप? हम यहाँ पे क्या कांदा बटाटा बेचने आए हैं। चलिए, अरे भाई छोड़े जिगो ना।
1, 2, 3, 4, let's go. WW Rain, 3 more games. LWW, India is the name. Rohit ke 100, Bumrah crushing the toes. Team India gonna break down the door. WLW, WWL, L. And it's panned out well. Archer the Scorcher is rooting for Root. Is this the chance to give the others the boot? WWW, a little bit of rain, couple of wins and a lot of pain, with Loki taking wickets and runs from Kane. Will the Kiwis win or lose it once again? India, England, New Zealand, Australia, but down to 4, now who will win, yeah? It is England's cup.
अरे कुप नहीं कप। अमित जी, ना कुप है ना कप, प्याली बोलिए।
My 11 Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. Kaun jeetega Cup? Yeah, if you're in Manchester, you've got to say Cup, don't you? Zaheer Khan alongside me, bringing you this very special preview for the first time of a TDI, a two-day international, the reserve day today. So hence we've decided to change the setting a little bit to make things a bit different. Robin Uthappa will join us later on the show. Zaheer, it's a good decision finally to not try too hard to have squeezed in a game yesterday, but play today.
Well, it's all about adapting, isn't it? Like how we have adapted today nicely to the game. It's a two-day international, like you're saying, and that's how it goes. So I think both the teams, must be feeling when as they were going back once the game was called off and they announced it. Okay, it's rescheduled and it's going to be the reserve day is going to be used. They must be going back to the hotel and, usually one team is sad, one team is celebrating, one team is looking forward to the finals, and here they must be thinking that, okay, now we have to go back
and do it all over again.
Sleep, but we can't show our emotions right now because it's not done as yet, and that's something which is which the game has brought to them. And to all of us as viewers, for us also it's different experience. Like, a lot of people were planning that, okay, if India reaches the finals, they might have booked the tickets, as we are in strong position to make plans for the finals. But now everything is on hold. So we got to enjoy it, we got to see it, and we got to adapt, like how we've adapted, with nice cup of coffee and a different setting, because it's a different day. This day you're not expecting, and everyone had to do something different to go in today. Continuing with the yesterday's match, so there's a different part.
It is. I suspect I know a couple of people who might be in that predicament, bookings on hold. But I will not make any mention of who they might be. Instead, let's tell you where the match stands at this stage. And this is where it is. 211 for 5 in 46.1 overs. And Ross Taylor, 67 not out. He's going to really be the key to these last few overs. Remember, the playing conditions are such that New Zealand will resume their innings, they'll play out till the 50 overs, and then India will chase whatever it is. So whatever little time is left, Ross Taylor will want to get his eye in. He doesn't have too much time to do that. Brand new day, you come in there, you want to just settle down, and if he settles down anything like his previous day, he took, 20 balls to settle down?
Well, yeah, they have to capitalize on that for sure. 23 deliveries. I'm just curious to know, whether there's going to be extra rolling or no. Actually, if that happens, because usually the morning of the day there is a light roll which is given to the wicket. today I'm just curious to know whether it's happening or not, because if that happens, that will be actually little bit of advantage India, because you know,
Because it
that
will be double
wicket will-
rolled then, because between innings as well.
So that rule, I'm looking forward to get the clarity on how it goes about in today's scenario. As you know, we're so used to we're so used to talking about the toss and what happened at the toss, but the toss is completely ruled out of today's equation now. And if you go to see, it's like both the teams batting first. You know, because India will be batting in the morning half of the match, and yesterday New Zealand did that. So as the experts were saying, you know, the team is going to have advantage batting first. I think that advantage is also gone completely out because both the teams will be batting first to get the result. So yeah, it's an interesting day. I'm actually after I finished yesterday's work and going back, I was thinking about that only. That, you know, how unusual is this scenario where the match from yesterday is going forward and we're going to get the full game. I'm just happy that it's going to be 50-50 overs each side, and it's a continuation of the match. I think, you know, that one rule which changed long time back has been a good change as far as giving both the teams a fair chance is concerned.
Yeah, you would have loved bowling 100 overs in Colombo with no result.
Oh, it was,
in 2 days.
You know how it is bowling in Colombo.
Well,
there's only one weather.
Absolutely.
Hotter and hottest.
Absolutely. That's exactly what India did in that Champions Trophy final, but we won't discuss that. The question about rolling, well, we will try and figure that out. Is it double egg, double chicken, or single egg, single chicken? Which will it be? Will it be to India's advantage? What about the weather? The weather is going to be key today, because if there is no chance of rain, all we need is enough time for about 54 overs to be bowled, with a few minutes in between the innings, and that's what it says. 52% of chance of rain in the morning, then 54, then 60. Well, it doesn't really tell too much of a story, but what we're hearing locally is that if there is any rain, it'll be towards the latter half of the day. So, like yesterday, get it out of the way quickly, and we will not have those three gentlemen. There'll be a lock outside the door at Manchester saying, Duckworth, Lewis, Stern, you're not welcome. Stay out. You want to finish it without them, don't you?
But they have enough time to finish the game. You know, you have pretty much half the innings to go and one innings to go of the match, and full day to achieve that with the extra time. You know, I hope it's not a long wait, because all the spectators at the ground also, and not only the spectators. The teams, the groundsmen who work on the ground, you know, they all had a very long day and a long wait, you know, which we don't want today. You know, we want today to get the game going as soon as possible and finish in one go. I think, you know, that is something which will be good for everyone, because these delays disrupts the rhythm, not only for the players who are taking the field, but also all the guys, you know, who are actually thinking that, okay, India has done a fantastic job with the ball, and now they just have to go out there and focus on the processes and get the job done. So now it's a long wait of just waiting for that process to happen.
But also, someone like Trent Bolt will have been waiting and trying to figure out, knowing he's the spearhead of the New Zealand attack. Of course, there's Lockie Ferguson, Matt Henry, but really everything will be about how Trent Bolt bowls to India and how India responds to Trent Bolt, because his record, if you have a look at 12 matches, 22 wickets. Now, we saw what the New Zealand openers did against Bumrah and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, who bowled well. Should India's approach be, let's play Trent Bolt out?
Well, I think you have to have the mindset of just playing the ball according to the merit of the ball. Now, so that is something which I'm sure the batsman will go in with that kind of approach. So if a best bowler gives you a ball to hit, you have to dispatch that delivery, you know. So yes, you have to respect when someone is bowling well, and you have to respect the conditions as well. I think respecting the condition is something which I will give topmost priority. So New Zealand, we've seen their lesser bowlers as well come into play when there is help in the wicket, particularly for the seam bowling. We've seen it right through the tournament and in New Zealand as well when they play at home. Every time there is a little bit of seam movement, the likes of Neeshams, the Grandoms come into play, and you know they can also do a good supporting job. So that is something which the team has to adapt and understand how much help there is in the wicket for the seam bowling, with the overhead conditions now yesterday and today with so much of rain around, you would expect some kind of a help for the seamers, and that help will be maximum at the start of the innings. So I think that start of the innings, 15 overs, is something which you have to be really watchful, not concerned, not defensive. I think the right word is just be watchful and have that intent of putting the bad deliveries out, but at the same time respect the balls which are pitched in good areas.
Yeah, I think there's a key difference there, watchful versus concerned. And I think what New Zealand were early on, they looked very concerned. They looked very hassled at times. And the mantra from Zaheer Khan is be watchful. It's not just Trent Bolt. There could be a little bit of a threat from the likes of Nisham, Colin de Grandhomme and the others as well. But we'll just say thank you for the moment to Zaheer Khan. We're going to get Robin in shortly. But before that, we really want to get a little tribute in to the Indian fan. They've really lit up this World Cup. You can tell that. They've turned every game pretty much into a home game. They've done it in a wonderful way. And all of us at Cricbuzz Live decided to pay our own tribute through Danish.
Growing up in a cricket-mad country, the thought of England always captured my imagination. After all, it's the home of cricket. All these hours in transit, I kept telling myself about how much fun it would be to talk cricket with the locals in the UK. But alas, the bubble burst. The World Cup had kicked off, but there didn't seem to be any life around it. I'm not doubting the grandeur of the event, but something seemed amiss. Until the Indian fans arrived ahead of their first game in Southampton and the world around the World Cup changed.
Yeah, when India plays here compared to other teams, I feel the atmosphere is completely different.
80,000 people from India applied for visas for this World Cup.
Well, the Indian fan is passionate. Whether it's our food, whether it's our sports that we follow, whether it's the heroes we follow, we are just extremely passionate. Rajinikanth is Rajinikanth because of the passion that we show him.
I'm trying to remember, it might have been 2003 or 2007, and I think we were in Bristol. And as the crowd was starting to come in, I didn't hear the crowd coming in because I was in the commentary box. I didn't see the crowd coming in. I suddenly heard dholaks. And I looked out and two things struck me. One was a number of people with dholaks. They were actually carrying music systems. Would have been these amplifiers, I think. They look like music systems. And the smell of Indian food. And I think that might have been when Nasir Hussain first asked, who is the home team here? And that's thing that's gone on. Everywhere that India plays these days, they bring their own flavor, their own joy, their energy, their enthusiasm. They bring all that. Sometimes they bring those contact lenses that I'm scared of. But they bring all that, and I think, and I've often said this is an Indian World Cup being played in England. And that is where all the drama, everything is coming from.
Huge numbers of Indian fans from all over the world travelled to this World Cup, and by our time we had Indian fans from 23 countries around the world. That gives you an idea about how passionate we are about this game, and how much we love the game, and what this game means to us, and what our team means for us. You know, we had Indian fans coming from Mexico, Cambodia, Kuala Lumpur, every continent we covered. You know.
I am here suffering from a mild heart attack 6 weeks ago. I've had to have 2 stents put into my heart because I had 2 blocked arteries. India gives me the drive to get out of bed, to defy all medical problems that I have, to support India. And that is why I'm here today. India has given me the spirit to come here today.
जितना पैशनेट इंडियन फैंस को मैंने देखा है ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, इतना किसी कंट्री को नहीं देखा है. आप पाकिस्तानी फैंस को देखिए, बांग्लादेशी फैंस को देखिए या बाकी फैंस को देखिए, वो ट्रैवल करते हैं, सुबह बहुत खुश होते हैं लेकिन शाम को वो नाराज भी हो जाते हैं, लड़ते भी हैं. इंडियन फैन को आपने कभी ऐसा करते नहीं देखा है. दे विल सेलिब्रेट, बट कभी मैंने इंडियन फैन को अब इतना मैच्योर होते देखा है कि अब वो जिस दिन हार जाएंगे वो हार को एक्सेप्ट करना सीख गए हैं.
You know, everybody else I think is much more contained in showing their excitement. The Indian fans go all out, and that's what makes us Indians.
एक नया चेंज मैंने इस बार देखा है कि इंडियन फैंस सिर्फ इंडियन टीम को सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहे, अगर दूसरी टीम का प्लेयर भी अच्छा खेल रहा है तो उसको भी सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, तो स्टेडियम में एक माहौल बन रहा है ऐसा। अपने बच्चे सबसे अच्छे। Whatever you do, we are with you for Team India. So we are the true fans and we bring the World Cup to life.
I cannot imagine a World Cup match without the Indian fans. So it's really good.
England quite truly is the home of cricket. But they say home is where the heart is, and the heart is in India.
Yes, I can tell you, doesn't matter who lifts the trophy on the 14th of July, if you look back at this World Cup and you just take away all the Indian fans from all the games, it would probably be a entire dead tournament.
It would, wouldn't it? It's just that VT was beautiful, wasn't it? I thought it was, as in just seeing that Indian flag there so many times amongst the people. Oh, goosebumps, just goosebumps. It was just beautiful. And,
yeah, but on that goosebump note, it's good to welcome Robin Uthappa to My 11th Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. Little special edition of it, building up to day 2 of the one-day fixture, but nicely poised. We had left Zaheer Khan with a little bit of masterclass on left-arm bowling. So we want to bring you in with the man who's going to be facing that left-arm seam, led by Rohit Sharma.
Well, yeah, I think it's going to be important for India, especially in the first 10 overs. I think that's going to be critical for India. But I think what they really want to be concerned about is how the next 4 overs finish. I think they'd want to finish strong, not to give them maybe more than 230. I think to restrict New Zealand under 230 would be a great job. Because if it goes to 240, then it again becomes an evenly poised match. Simply because of the conditions that are prevalent at this day, at the ground on this day. It's also overhead conditions are a little heavy. Looks like it could rain. It could there's chances of rain.
Bit of sun peeping through.
Yeah, we hope that the sun kind of comes through a lot more. But yeah, I just think that the first 10 overs, as far as batting is concerned, is going to be critical. It's going to be critical for India to make sure to have Rohit Sharma batting for the first 30 overs. The top 3 should be batting. 2 of them should be batting in the first 30. If they are, then you know that India have a bigger percentage of winning the game today.
I'm just going to come to some interesting numbers of Rohit Sharma in a moment, but I just want to quickly get one point in from you. How do you prepare if you're somebody like Ross Taylor to bat 23 balls on day 2?
I was thinking about that quite a lot actually. I've been thinking about what would he do, as in because he's batting with Latham, and so when he's out there, he's thinking, okay, I have 24 balls, and I have 12 from Bumrah, I have 12 from Bhuvaneshwar. So how am I going to approach this? What are my shot options? What are they going to bowl to me? What fields are they going to bowl with? And based on that field and based on the conditions of the wicket, what are my shot options based on my game? So it's a lot to think about. But I think he would look to get, if he can look to get 15 runs off Bumrah in 12 balls and about 18 runs off Bhuvi in his 11 or 12 balls, then they would have done a great job.
They'll be loving that if he can do that.
If they can do that.
His go-to shot really is a slog sweep, even against quicker bowlers.
It
so
is,
they'll
but
obviously target outside.
Yeah, but I think he'd give himself maybe a couple of balls just to get in. Just to feel like he's in the game again, because he's batting the first ball again. So make no mistake, when you, irrespective of if you're batting 200, if you're batting 100 or on 67, when you come out the next day and you play the first ball, it's the first ball of the day. It doesn't matter what you've done before. It has no implications on how you're going to bat today. So he will want to take those 2 balls to get in, I think, as a batter, and then probably decide, okay, what his options are. He'll have at his hand ready what his options are and what he's going to do and where he's going to attack these bowlers based on the information that he's collected from them as to where they bowl in the depth, and again based on the conditions and all of that. So he's going to be thinking, okay, based on all these are my options and this is what I'm going to go into once I've played a couple of balls.
All right, but talking about implications, we'll go back to Rohit Sharma, and there are implications depending on who you're batting with. And we were trying to speculate that is there a difference when Rohit Sharma has been playing with Shikhar Dhawan or without Shikhar Dhawan, and you can see that there is a difference. It's not just in our imagination. Strike rate of 74 when you knew that the aggressive Shikhar Dhawan used to be there and he'd let him be the aggressor. Moment he had to now play with KL Rahul, obviously Rahul was relatively new to the setup, so he had to shepherd him a little bit. Therefore, he had to play a little more aggressive, and look at that strike rate and the balls per boundary.
Well,
reduced by a significant amount.
Of course, they've definitely reduced, and he's taken the aggressor's role in this partnership between him and Rahul. But I think, having said that, this game on this wicket, I think, as in one would imagine, it's going to be different based on, yes, I think yesterday New Zealand batted like they were very concerned as to, not losing wickets and making sure they had wickets in hand, just in case rain came into play. But I still think there's something in that wicket. And for me, it's easy for me to sit here and say there will be something in the wicket, but we're only going to figure that out while the match happens. Right now, you have to understand that each ball that they're bowling with is 23 overs old, right? But when New Zealand come into bowl, they're coming out with two new cherries, and they're going to be coming hard at these Indian batsmen. They're going to be using those conditions, and if the wicket's rolled in a certain manner, whether it's a light roller or a heavy roller, it's going to have an impact on how the wicket's going to behave, right? So all of these factors come into consideration, and it'll be based on these factors as to what Rohit decides to do, what role he decides to play today. Maybe because it's an important game, it's a pressure situation game, it's a game that will take India to the finals. He might play an innings much alike what he played against South Africa in the first game of the World Cup. He might decide to go that route, because that's the safest route. Because you have someone as solid as Rohit Sharma, who's the highest run scorer in the World Cup, batting there for you right till the end. And that is exactly what India wants. And I think maybe that's the way he will look to go about today's innings.
Yes, and of course it's not just Rohit Sharma. We just have to keep talking about him, because 500s in a World Cup, that's ridiculous. I mean, he's done it.
He's insane.
It is insane.
That is just like
it is
crazy.
insane. It's not often we use words like insane and ridiculous for someone who's done so well, but he's taken it beyond that, beyond the sublime. Yeah. Well done, Rohit Sharma, and we hope for much more. But at the end of the day, even if it's not Rohit, whoever does it, India will be looking to get over the line. But there's one more factor that we always try and get in for you, and today being a new day, as part of the same game, we decided to bring you yet another question from the ever-present Joy Bhattacharya with his Joy Factor question for today. We had an interesting one for you yesterday, and this one is interesting as well. There's no reference to Los Angeles and Missouri, and sorry, it's not international. This batsman's knock of 18 not out in a Ranji Trophy game in March 1982 is unique among his 563 first-class innings and helped save the game. Name the player and what was unique about this innings. 18 not out in a Ranji Trophy game in March 1982. Trust me, this is not something you can just search for. I mean, nobody records an 18 not out unless it's significant for a reason.
Yeah, it's a very Joy Bhattacharya question.
It is a very...
Let's just leave it at that.
Exactly. That's what we want it to be. That's exactly how we want it. Thank you, Robin.
Cheers.
Thank you to Zach, wherever he is right now. And we will, of course, be back, the entire team, Cricbuzz Combox in the 15th over. But of course, we will be trying to quickly assess where everything is once the 23 deliveries are bowled, post which we'll get to the 15th over of the run chase. This has been a very special edition of My 11 Circle presents Cricbuzz Live.